teaching, teaching. I hear you saying a jack of all trades, and you saw some entrepreneurship in your family. What made you want to go into teaching, Kirsten? How did that happen?
That's a very interesting story as well, because I actually went to school for nursing, and I did
Mm,
2 years of nursing before I decided that it was not for me. I did a psych ward rotation, and I did a geriatrics rotation as well. So I saw the very old, sick, and dying, and I
yes,
saw people who were not literally in their right mind.
yes.
So and it wasn't something that I didn't do well in academically. It just didn't sit right in my spirit. And
Mm,
so I have a lot of teachers in my family actually. Like the aunt that I spoke of earlier, she's a retired teacher. She's married to a teacher, and which my uncle, and I have quite a few educators in my family. So it was always something that I felt like I was good at. My first job was as a camp counselor at the YMCA. Um, Shout out to the YMCA, by the way. Like, I have a lot of humble beginnings from there. So I've always kind of been around kids. After I did that, I married my husband, and I started working in a preschool. And I was literally just doing scrub work, cleaning up, like helping take care of the kids, very transitional type things. And I actually taught in Guam as well. I taught preschool in Guam,
oh wow.
literally teaching kids with no shoes on, because that's customary over there, not to wear shoes inside. So even in the schoolhouse, it's still considered like a house. So no shoes in my socks, trying to teach kids, a lot of Filipino and Japanese and Asian kids, English. And so I felt a connection there with them.
Right.
And I'm like, these are kids that don't relate to me in any way. And by the time I'm done, I got all these kids around me, like looking to me for answers. So it just definitely lit a spark. And I'm like, this is something that I can do. This is something that I can make a difference in kids' lives for sure. So I just continued from there, and just slowly working my way up. So I was an assistant in this room, and then I was the lead teacher. And then when I had my degree, I went to the grade level. And that's kind of what I've been doing this entire time. And, to anyone who is trying to to get into teaching, there are still kids out here who need that help, and they need someone that they can look up to. So I know it's a dying breed, teaching, but there's still some kids out here that need good teachers that care.
Man, how wonderful is that? I'm listening to what you're saying, and a couple things are ringing out that I hope y'all are listening to. She said she started in nursing school. She didn't get out because it was too rigorous. She said it didn't hit right in her soul. So that means she was intent, and she was purpose driven. She understood, I'm not looking for a career. I'm looking for my purpose. And
Yes.
you figure out it's not through nursing, and you got out of there, because I'm gonna tell y'all, so many people working a job that they hate, and that's what you call a slow death. That's a prison sentence.
Absolutely.
And so I'm glad that you had the wherewithal and the God, the feminine divinity in you, that you could say, this ain't me. And then um I like your hustle. This is all contingent with what you had just told us about shucking those peas, uh,
Yeah.
about being a master of all trades. You being true to who you were, right, Kirsten? You were like, you know
I-
what? I love teaching, but I might not come in on grade level, but I can come in wiping the toys down, and I'm gonna move up from there, and I'm
oh
gonna
yeah.
be an
Oh
assistant,
yeah.
and then
That's
I'm gonna be a lead. That's what it's all about.
yes.
That's one of those formulas, Kirsten, that I find in people who are uber successful. Going back to Tupac, he talked about starting at the bottom and then working all the
Yes.
way up, right? And that's another thing that we talked about, failure. Would you say that that's a part of it,
Oh
being
yes.
humble enough to
You do.
elevate gradually?
Huge slice of humble pie for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
I
so
agree.
yeah, so no, that's beautiful.